everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is kind of new. I haven't done a front-facing video on here and I'm pretty excited. It's definitely different for me though, but I talk to you guys all the time on Instagram, so I feel like it's gonna be okay, but bear with me. Anyway, today's video is going to be my 2021 favorites video. So I have a number of things to share with you guys, specific items, specific shops, and like things that I like from the shop. A variety of stuff. I have some books and a couple makeup items. So yeah, the way that I've structured the video is that there's 15 different things I want to talk about. The first 10 are planner / journal related, crafting, all that type of stuff. And then the last 5 are like more lifestyle favorites. So if you guys aren't interested in that, you guys feel free to tune out. But yeah, that's the structure of the video. I'm just gonna go through and share with you guys all of the things and why they were standout products for me this year. So before we get started, I'd love if you take a second to like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated, and let's just hop right into it. So number 1, I think you guys may know what it is. I Hobonichi Weeks, okay? This was like the hallmark of my planner year. I had previously tried this planner. It has never really worked for me in the past. I've kind of shared with you guys that like, I guess like journey I've had specifically with the Hobonichi Weeks. This was the year that it finally clicked for me. I figured out a layout that I loved. I figured out a pen that I really loved in it. A way that I could be more decorative yet still maintain the function. It just became a very intuitive system for me, and something that in the past when I felt like gone through times of extreme stress, I've like dove into planning as a hobby and changed up my system and set up a new planner and used that as like coping strategies or things to like avoidance mechanisms, like especially with school, and be like, oh, I'm gonna set up a new planner today and then tomorrow I'm gonna write the paper. Whereas this year, even though I went through all of those like really stressful situations, I like dug my heels in this system instead of like wanting to scramble and try something new. So this was the year of the Hobonichi Weeks for me. Well, 2021 was the year of the Hobonichi Weeks for me. And I picked up and I'm using the Hobonichi Weeks for 2022. So yeah, I'm really upset though, they no longer make this floral cover. So this was the last year of that, but it's really pretty, and it's gonna be so nice to be able to just have this fully completed Hobonichi Weeks sit on my bookshelf and just be an archive of 2021 for me. So yeah, Hobonichi Weeks. My next favorite is a leather, undyed Giglio. I'm sorry, I've had undyed Giglio leather for over a year now. Over a year. When I first got my first one, it was an A6 rings and I really liked it. And then I got a Pocket Miyakara and I really liked it. This year I fell in love with it, like the beauty of undyed. I don't know if it's this specific piece that my Slim Punto is made out of. It is so supple and so soft, and I absolutely love it. And I've been a lot less careful with this planner than I have with some of my other undyed leathers, and I've only come to love it more. So yeah, I kind of just like let go with like the trying to be a perfectionist with the undyed, and I think that that's the key to loving it. The next thing I want to talk about is a custom that I had done from BDS. So previous to using the Hobonichi Weeks, I was in A6 rings. A6 rings till the day I die, I thought, okay? Everything, like things that I loved, like if there was a dashboard that I loved, even if I wasn't currently in A6 rings, I bought it in A6 rings because I knew at some point I would return to A6 rings. I had the most, like in my planner collection, I had the most amount of A6 rings in my possession. It was my favorite. But once the Hobonichi Week started working for me, I realized that it really could be a one planner system for me, and I didn't need rings. And there are things about bound book planners that I've come to really enjoy. The fact that there's no inserts means, like no loose leaf inserts, mean that it's really easy to archive. And what I noticed about myself was when I was in a ring bound planner, I wasn't using my favorite stickers, and I wasn't using mainly my favorite stickers, like my favorite transparent stickers or my favorite decorative stickers, because I knew that once I used them, they'd be stuck on this loose leaf sheet of paper, and eventually that sheet of paper would get thrown out. Whereas in my Hobonichi weeks, I used all my favorite stickers this year. And I love the way that it looks. And they're used, but they're not garbage. This will stay with me. And I have already, like, we're in the first week of January. I flip through this thing all the time. I haven't even, like, put it on the shelf. It's in my drawer. Like, it's right beside me. I love flipping through this. It is truly an archive of my year. But not only is it an archive of the things that I've done, it's like an archive of the things that I bought. My favorite stickers, my favorite Washis. Shops that I love are, like, all throughout this planner. So once I like fully, and I think at the back of my mind, I always knew that ring inserts get tossed out, but it wasn't until I started using a bound book full time where I was like, I love this. I love this. But I will say this custom that I had done by VDS is my all-time favorite A6 rings cover, to the point where I have sold every other A6 cover that I owned, like A6 rings cover that I own. And I kept this one. This is the one A6 ring cover that I have left in my possession. It is absolutely perfect. If I ever return to rings, I know that it will be returning to this. I love this cover. It was a custom, so I chose everything. I did Stardust inside and out, silver popper and rings, matching stitching, secretarial pocket on this side, no back pocket, stiffener, which I realize I love stiffener. I love stiffener, and I feel like a lot of people don't really like that. It is amazing for me. And then I left the back the same, and a chunky clasp, square corners. I think I will keep this for a very long time as my one and only potential return to rings, because I do think, like, from a business perspective, rings would be nice because you could change out the inserts. All of your important information as a business owner you would keep electronically, but you could plan out your weeks on loose leaf inserts. But for decorative planning, it just doesn't work for me anymore because I don't use my favorite things when I'm in rings, and I want to use my favorite things. But I could see it being functional in a workplace, right? So I will hold on to this because I love it. Love it so much. But I did sell all of my other ones that I had. Okay, next favorite. Fountain pens, you guys. I got into fountain pens this year and I absolutely love them. I don't use them for planning. I love a good gel pen. I actually tried using them for planning yesterday. I don't really like the way that it looks, but I love it for journaling, taking down notes at my desk, like literally everything else, taking like quick notes for school, planning out videos that I film for you guys, like writing down all the stories that I need to link, all the shops I need to link, all of that. I will 9 times out of 10 be reaching for my fountain pen in all of those other scenarios besides planning. It's hard for planning with me because I gotta find the right ink that dries nicely and quickly on my Tomoe River paper. But anyway, I tried fountain pens 2 years ago or 3 years ago with a Lamy Safari. Terrible experience. I thought that fountain pens were not for me. This year I was like, I'm trying them again. It's like, maybe it's just my pen. It was my pen, okay? Was certainly my pen. So this year I picked up 2 Quakos, olive and macchiato, and then I also picked up 2 Twisbys, the rose gold and white, and then just the clear. And then last but not least, I got the Pilot Vanishing Point in extra fine matte black for Christmas, and I love it. I love them. They write beautifully. I'm a fountain pen convert. Yeah, and I also like inks. I've been having so much fun playing with inks. So the inks that I've been using the only inks that I own in like bottles, I have a couple cartridges from the Lamy Safari days. The only inks that I own in bottles are all Ferris wheel press inks. I love them. I love them all. Moss Park Green, Writer's Desk Brown, Lady Rose and Gold is beautiful. They're all gorgeous. And I'm looking forward to trying out some new fountain pen inks in the new year. But I think I have enough pens. I just want to try some new inks. But yeah, fountain pens definitely are a favorite for this year. Okay, so next I want to talk about one of my favorite shops that I discovered this year. Papery planning. Perfection, okay? Everything that she does is just wonderful. Her icon stickers I started using this year, they're absolutely perfect. They're really nice. I'm just reaching for them. I've been using the YouTube ones like crazy. The school ones have been really nice. They come in 2 different sizes, regular and then small or mini. I'm not sure. Regular and then mini. Yeah, those are the 2 different sizes and they're perfect. Like I love her icons. Also, I don't think I've ever seen a shop do like nail freebies the way that Papery Planning has done it. Her freebies are wonderful. So she does them with her PR girls. These are her PR samplers and they're so personalized to each individual PR girl or PR person. I think she has all females on her team though, all women on her team, but they're literally perfect. They're so nice. And then also she does like other freebies. Like this was a freebie that she gave out around the holidays. This is actually a freebie that I will use. You know, it is something that goes with the rest of her collection. Like it looks like the same as the stickers that I bought. It's in the same size as the stickers that I purchased from her. I can store it the same way. It's really well thought out. I really like everything she's doing. So yeah, the other thing that she does really well are transparent shapes. Her selection of nudes is one of the most comprehensive and amazing selection of colors I've ever seen. She has colors that like slight nuance, like they're so nuanced from each other, but they're all still nude. They have like slight differences that to me are very meaningful. And I love them. I have so many of her nude colors in transparent shapes and I can see the difference. I use them for different scenarios. They are wonderful. Her drops, I love the shape of her drops. They're perfect. They have more of like a taper edge instead of a rounded drop. And she's got like mini dots, tiny dots. No. She's got mini dots, tiny drops, and then regular size dots and drops. And then I think she has a couple of other ones. I just purchased the 4 different ones. I get the mini dots, the regular dots, the mini drops, and the regular drops. And I love them. I think since I found her shop, I haven't actually purchased any transparent shapes from any other shop, which is a lot because before that I was just trying a bunch of different shops and Papery Planning has come out as my #1 for this like category of transparent shapes. The other thing that I absolutely love from her are these. So she released sticky notes earlier this year and you guys, they're amazing. I feel like she's just really listening to the community, a big thing. So pocket planners are really popular earlier this year. A regular sticky note is 3x3. It's too large to fit on a pocket size insert. And all throughout the year, people were like literally chopping off the edges of their sticky notes to get it to fit in a pocket planner. And people were like, make sticky notes smaller. Like this was just a general consensus, I feel like, throughout the planner community. She did it. She listened. And then she brought them out in these beautiful neutral colors and they're wonderful. So a normal sticky note is 3x3. As I said, these are 2x2. She brought them out in square and circles in 3 different colorways. I've got Cafe au Lait and Cafe Misto, and then I think there was a darker one or a lighter one. I don't know. There was one more. I didn't pick that one up. But I've been loving these. Cafe au Lait is my favorite one. I purchased backups of it. Okay. Next thing I want to talk about is sterling ink. You guys, I can say that I wasn't really a fan of florals, but ever since I found Sterling Ink shop, I love them. I love them so much. Only her florals though. Catherine, I love her shop. So these are just a variety of different ones. Her stuff, it's just so beautiful. It's very like watercolor style and it looks gorgeous in my planner. I love the stickers. The quality is great. They're really easy to reposition on Hobonichi Tomoe River paper, which I am so appreciative of. Her designs are absolutely gorgeous. I love the way that she also has her shop structured. So she does a new release towards the end of every month, and it's like, say in January, at the end of January, she's gonna have a release for the February collection. So everything that she's gonna release in the month of February happens at once. And as an international shopper, I love it, okay? Shipping is so expensive. So knowing that a shop is going to release all of their releases for a given month on one day, and I can buy whatever I want, I can browse through the whole collection and pick and choose what I want, and knowing that something new isn't going to come out in a week or 2 weeks after my package has already been shipped is like so nice as an international customer. I'm so appreciative of that. And her stuff is gorgeous. I also love her vellums. She does vellums in that same artwork. I actually have some tipped into my Hobonichi Weeks for this year. Let me show you. So this isn't Florals, but this came out in one of her collections. Oh no, this one's Florals. I can show you this one. So that's that one. I've stuck a vinyl sticker on it, but this is like the vellum that I've tipped into my weeks. I used to use vellum all the time at my A6 rings. Just punch it, you put it in there. It's like a little dashboard. And then I've started tipping it into my bound books since I'm not really in a ring planner anymore, but I still love vellum. And then also if you're in a bound book, you can use it to like wrap the exterior cover of your book so you have like a new cover. So yeah, Sterling Ink. I love her shop. I'm on her PR team. I do have a code with her. I think it's valid until the end of January. But I've been purchasing and supporting her shop long before I was ever on her PR team. And it's just, chef's kiss. Okay, Catherine? Chef's kiss. One of my favorite planner shops of the year. Okay, next, Washi. Okay, the beginning of the year, I was literally decluttering all of my Simply Gilded washi. I was like, I don't use this. What am I gonna do with it? Get rid of it all. And then I moved into the Hobonichi Weeks and I found the world of like layering, journaling, collage style spreads. And along with that came washi. Let me show you kind of how I use washi in my weeks so you just kind of have an idea. So like this is a spread where I've used a bunch of decorative stickers and layered it on top of some washi. So Paper Minty Studio, I found her about halfway through the year from a friend of mine on Instagram, Katie, Plan with Katie, and I think this is the best washi shop I've ever purchased from. The quality of her washi is beautiful, first off, but her designs are just perfect. Like, just perfect. Like, these are all from completely different collections, completely different times of the year. They all go so well together. This is just a sampling. I was a person who had swore off washi, and now I have 3 drawers full. And majority of it, the vast majority of it, is Paper Minty Studio washi. It's just so pretty. It is so pretty. I love this shop. She also does like sticker sheets and stuff like that. I do have a couple of them. I do like her sticker sheets. I've used them from time to time, but the standout item from her shop, in my opinion, is the washi. Okay, next, Opal and Fern. Opal and Fern. I found Opal and Fern just at the end of December 2020. I purchased a couple sheets from her and used them like crazy. They're wonderful. Her shop is beautiful. I believe her name is Sophie. You are amazing. The designs are just so pretty. They're very much like my style. Here are some of the sheets. I love her fall stickers. They're just perfect. I use like decorative stickers like this all throughout my Hobonichi. Like at the end of 2020, I was literally just doing like using her stickers so simply. Like I put a hat here and that's all the decorative stickers I used, and like a sweater. And then like towards the end of the year, these are some Sterling Ink stickers, but I was going crazy with the deco and using a ton of journaling stickers. And Opal and Fern has been a shop that I've supported throughout this entire year. and still consistently have shopped from. I would verge to say she's my favorite journaling sticker shop. Her designs are just perfect. She also does bookmarks. I have one here, and it's like the same designs that she makes stickers out of, but her drawing, she's just a wonderful artist. Like, that's it. She's a wonderful artist, and she makes stickers out of her work, and it's lovely. Okay, next, Aloe's Creative Corner. These are just some. These are just the ones that I could find. I love her bookmarks, you guys. They're wonderful. They're so wonderful. This one I picked up not too long ago. And then I've got like that one with some gold flakes. And this one. And okay, all of mine look the same. She does a wide variety of different types of bookmarks. I just really like the ones with the crochet lace. The crochet ribbon. She has a ton of different varieties, like other types of ribbon, other designs, like less neutral ones. I have a type, but I love her bookmarks. Okay, they're wonderful. They're great to add a little bit of deco, especially in a bound book. I've been trying to figure out ways to add deco, be a little like add my own touch to a bound book. That's one thing. The one thing that's nice about rings is that you can put in whatever you want, completely customize it and personalize it. Bound books is a little bit harder because the layout is already there for you. You can't switch it out halfway throughout the year. So I've been trying to figure out other ways to add deco, and these have been a wonderful way to add just a little extra something to my planner in this really beautiful, ornate way. So Aloe's Creative Corner on Etsy. I'll be sure to link the stores, like all the shops and stuff that I'm mentioning down below, but she's great. Okay, next up, Paper Dove Shop. Alessandra, earlier this year, she started doing cross stitching, and she came out with like cross stitch charms, embroidered charms for your planner, and they're beautiful and they're lovely, and I'm so like just in awe of the beauty. And they're definitely one of my favorite things that ever came out of 2021. They're so simple. I'm not even historically a planner charm person. These just bring me so much joy. like just catching them out of the corner of my eye. Like, I always have one clipped onto my pencil case. That's why I have some of these with like the lobster claw. They're always clipped on my pencil case. I typically have one of these hanging out of the side of my journal. I don't typically have one on the side of my planner, but I put them on the side of my journal. They're just so beautiful, and they make me smile all the time. Like, they're actually embroidered like little, they look like little cross stitch hoops, and they're lovely, and they're all different because they're like hand done, and they're lovely. Like, you did a great job. These are the three that I have. She's come out with some other colors. I've missed a couple releases, but they're chef's kiss. All of you guys, chef's kiss. This is a really good planner year, and I feel like for me, I discovered like my planning style. I feel like the past couple of years I've just been trying out a bunch of stuff, just seeing stuff on Instagram and trying it and being like, does that work for me? Is this me? Is this what I want my planner to look like? And I feel like this year I really just kind of like found my style, what brings me happiness, what brings me joy in my planner. And like, it's a nice feeling. Right. I just feel like the planner community is incredibly fast. Like, from personal rings to pocket rings to A5 to the Hobonichi Weeks to the Hobo Cousin to standard TNs. Like, it's just the planner community is constantly zooming. Like, it is fueled by consumerism, and what is popular is consistently like changing. Like, as fast as I can blink, there's something new that's popular. And I feel like this year I found what worked for me, and I dug my heels in it, and I like just used it and enjoyed it and appreciated what everyone else was doing, but was like, no, that's not for me. Like, I didn't have to try it to realize it wasn't for me. I knew my own system well enough to know that it wasn't for me. So yeah, in review, I had a great year in terms of planner stuff. It was wonderful. I started my YouTube channel. I connected with a bunch of you guys, and it's been amazing. And these are just a couple of the things that made it extra special. So yeah, that's it for the planner stuff. I have a couple of books I want to share with you and 2 cosmetic type things. So if you're interested in that, I'd love if you stick around. If not, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye. Okay, books. So I'm a reader. I really like to read. All through my childhood, it was like my favorite thing to do. I was an only child for like 10 years. It was like my favorite thing to do. And then that kind of stuck with me throughout high school a little bit. And then university happened, and I don't have time to read for fun anymore because I'm constantly reading for research or for class. So all of my books are nonfiction, and they all some way connected to what I was studying, but they are books that had a profound impact on me this year and that I really enjoyed, so I thought I would share with you. Am I an adult now that all of my favorite books are nonfiction? I don't even think I read a single fiction book this year. That's one thing that's on my goals for 2022. My God, it's 2022. But I want to read more. My goal this year is 12 books, 1 a month. I feel like it's doable. I didn't do it last year. Even though I had the same goal last year, but I feel like it's doable and I want to read more. But anyway, I'm rambling. Let's talk about my favorites for this year. So, Evicted by Matthew Desmond. You guys, I read this in my first year of university. It was a required reading for a course. You were supposed to read like 1 to 2 chapters a week and then finish it by the end of the course. I started it and finished it by the 2nd week of the course and fell in love with it. It is a ethnographic study of housing in Milwaukee in the US. And it's amazing, like outlining the ways in which housing is integral to one's livelihood and one's ability to contribute to society, and how when you view housing as a social right as opposed to a commodity, society operates better. And it's just amazing. So the author, he actually lived in Milwaukee. Can't remember how long the time period was, over a year though. And he, Matthew Desmond, the author, he studied people in poverty dealing with housing crises, and like the ins and outs as to how that worked. And then he also followed people who were landlords and rented to people in poverty, and what it looked like from the opposite position. And it's a great read. So I read it for my first year sociology course, and then this year I actually had a course in housing. The professor never talked about this book or anything, but I specifically chose to write my final paper on a housing project in Toronto, which is where I'm from, and I relied heavily on this book because the thing is that even though Canada and the US are 2 completely different countries, there are tons of parallels here. Homelessness is not a consequence of poverty, it's the causation. And that was like the biggest takeaway from this book. And it's amazing. It is so good. I think I've read it like front to back like 2 or 3 times. It's an amazing piece of work. Another thing that I really like about it, even though it's like a piece of scholarly like work, like academic work, it is written like a fiction novel. It is so easy to follow, and it's really approachable. So even if you're not like looking to like sit down at night and like sit in your bed and read a sociology study, it's not written like that at all. It's written like a novel. And I think that's why in my first year sociology course I blew right through it, because it wasn't like I was reading this study with all of these like ridiculous academic words and this like convoluted nonsense. It was very much felt like I was reading a novel. So yeah, highly recommend that book. The next book that I want to talk about is Fed Up by Gemma Hartley. So yeah, I actually purchased this on a whim because it sounded really interesting. Come to find out, it's like feminist theory and a sociological piece of work. It's really good. I had never thought or discussed emotional labor. I didn't really know what it was before I read this. I wasn't at a point yet in my university studies that I had really discussed or explored emotional labor in any of my courses. We did in a class I had this past year, but I read it at the beginning of 2021. And I had a class in the fall that discussed it. But anyway, it was amazing. And the thing is that I was talking about emotional labor and about the book with my mom, and she like knew exactly what I was talking about, exactly what I was getting at. And the concept of emotional labor, domestic emotional labor, is so hard to define because it's like the maintenance of a household, but it's the things that you do that no one notices. So to people who don't do the work, it's really hard to define. Anyway, if you're interested in the concept of what emotional labor is, how it works, how it's worked throughout history, this is a really great book. Again, it is a sociological piece of work, but Gemma herself, like, she talks to you. So again, it's not like you're reading, like, she shares her personal stories and how it connects to this broader theme of emotional labor. So it's not like you're reading like a scholarly article. I really liked it. It was really great. And I feel like this is a book that could spark a lot of discussions in relationships, because it talks about like unpaid invisible work that women do. And I think, and Gemma herself talks about how she thought that she was in like a really modern relationship, like a relationship that went beyond gender roles, where there were like open discussions as to like how gender roles work in the maintenance of a household, but she still found that she was disproportionately doing emotional labor. So I feel like it could be a really good read for anybody. I really like the way that she writes. Her writing is fantastic, actually. I really I got into it really quickly. And it was a book that I revisited towards the end of the year when I was writing my final paper for a sociology course. So yeah, Fed Up. Really like that one. And then the last one, I took off the book jacket. I think I have it somewhere. So yeah, here's the book jacket. This is what it looks like. It's called Missing from the Village. Goes on this book. It's by Justin Ling. And it's, Justin Ling is an investigative journalist based in Toronto, I'm pretty sure. And this book is entirely about Bruce McArthur, who was a serial killer that operated in Toronto, specifically attacking the LGBTQ plus community. And he was arrested. He was arrested in 2018, and I had just finished high school. And all throughout like my 4 years of high school, I was like seeing the missing persons like on the news and like hearing like whispers of it. And then I saw when he was arrested, but I was young. I never had like followed the case, and this was so interesting. It like deep dives the way in which the Toronto Police Service has like repeatedly not been allies to the LGBTQ community like throughout the years. Like everything from like the history of bathhouses in Toronto and the gay village downtown. It was a really good piece. If you don't want to read the book, there is also an audiobook by a podcast by Justin Ling, who goes over pretty much a lot of the findings he found in his book, and obviously a lot more brief, but like the key concepts. And it also interviews a bunch of key players in the case. And yeah, it was a great piece. I really like this book. I started reading it towards the beginning of the year, fell off as I fell off of everything. And then recently I'm really close to the end, but I really liked this. I did listen to the podcast halfway through reading the book, because as I said, I read this at the beginning of the year and then took a break from reading altogether. And then one day I just put on the podcast and I was like entranced. And then since I've been off of school, I've returned back to the book and really been enjoying it. So quickly, I just want to zoom through 2 makeup favorites. So let me grab them. Oops. Okay, so the 2 makeup favorites. First things first, Benefit Benetint If you know anything about the makeup community, this is so old. Not this bottle, but this product is so old. It's literally like water. And it used to literally come in a nail polish bottle. Like it had a nail polish brush on it. They've since put a doe foot applicator on it, but it literally looks like water. And it dries down completely. It's for your lips. I should have said that. It's for your lips or cheek. I only use it on my lips. It looks like water. Like it's no thick layer. It dries down into your lips. As you can see, it'll start to dry down. I'm gonna just wipe it just to show you. So after you wipe it away, it stains your lips like completely. Like you can't rub it off. And it's just been perfect throughout the pandemic to put a little bit of color on my lips, but not have to worry about it rubbing off inside my mask or feeling super uncomfortable or feeling like I'm wearing a layer. It completely soaks into your lips. So that's why I love it. I wish they would come out with it in like different colors, but it's perfect. It's such an old product. I cannot believe I'm talking about Benefit Benetint in 2022, but it has been a go-to of mine throughout the pandemic because it doesn't feel like you're wearing anything. You can put a mask on and you don't have to worry about it. So last favorite of the year. I should probably preface this a little bit. Halfway through the year, this past summer, I got eczema on my eyelids. I've never had eczema in my life, never mind on my eyelids. It got so bad that like I couldn't even, like one day I remember it hurt to blink because the eye area was so raw. Every time I would blink, the skin was moving. It was so bad. So I couldn't wear eye makeup. I'm a makeup person, okay? I really enjoy makeup. It's one of my main hobbies. Makeup and planning are like my two main things, okay? My main gigs. So for like a really long time, I couldn't wear eye makeup. And then that happened in the summer in July. Around September, I started introducing eye makeup back into my life, and I purchased this palette. This is the Pat McGrath Mothership 5, and it's called Bronze Seduction. It is so beautiful. It truly reignited my love for eyeshadow. I've had so much fun playing with this palette, and since for so much of the year I couldn't wear eye makeup, this has been such a fun thing to like reintroduce myself to eye makeup with and like play with and explore. I don't even know if the camera's gonna pick this up, but they're some of the most incredible eyeshadows I've ever seen. Yeah, I think you guys can see they're textured. The pink in this palette also like generally made me fall back in love with pink, like beyond eyeshadow, just like in my life. Like I have been so into pink after I used this one eyeshadow on my eyelids. So it's almost been an hour. I have been chit-chatting your guys' ears off. I really liked this video. Like I liked talking to you guys. I hope that you guys enjoy this. It's definitely a different style than what I normally do, but I had a ton of fun. So yeah, let me know down below, what are like your 3 favorite, I got eyeshadow. What are your 3 favorites from the year? I would love to know. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope you guys had a great time, and I will catch you guys in a plan with me next time. Bye. Oh, before you head out, please take a second to like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Bye guys.